What are your greatest strengths? An interview question that should be treated as a golden question when it comes to an interview, because it is your opportunity to showcase what you do best and why that interviewer should choose you as opposed to your competition. So, in this video, I am going to explain to you how to really powerfully answer a question like, tell me about your greatest strengths, how to do so strategically and in a way that really brings you to life for all the right reasons. Very quickly, I'm Judy Bullymore. I'm a global interview coach, an executive CV and resume writer, and I absolutely believe in confidence and empowerment when it comes to interviewing. So let's get straight to it. What are your greatest strengths? When answering a question like this, it's really important to set it in the context of the job role that you're applying for. When you would have applied for the job in the first place, there would have been the job description and there would have been the person specification, which would have clearly outlined what they were looking for in terms of experience and skills and the type of person that they want. When they're asking you about your strengths, all you're doing is choosing the most high-level proof that you can do what they want. Okay, so if they're encouraging you to talk about your strengths, first of all, you can list more than one, and you can do so strategically. So let's layer this on top of an actual example scenario. Say if you're applying for a events manager role, for example. Part of the role description is that you're going to be in charge of high profile events. You're going to be expected to manage stakeholders, keep customers happy, make sure that everything runs smoothly on the day, that you can work in a kind of a way that doesn't require too much input from other people, that you can lead, that you can project manage, that you can troubleshoot, and that the event itself is going to generate the KPIs or the outcomes that they really, really want. So if you know that that's what they're looking for, they've said that's what they're looking for, then what you can do is you can talk about your strengths with that backdrop. So one of my greatest strengths is that I have built a reputation for being known as the person that delivers the most customer-centric, immersive events that run really smoothly and that achieve great outcomes. And the reason that this is a strength of mine is because I've learned to hone my skills to make events really successful. It's a strength of mine because it actually comes very naturally to me. So being able to have to balance competing priorities and having to really know my customers and project management and organization, these are all my strengths. So when I put this together, especially when it comes to events, and I am a bit of a I'm a bit of a perfectionist in that respect. I like to make sure that what I've planned actually comes out in fruition. So yeah, my biggest strength is the fact that I love to do this and I've got so much experience of doing it well. Again, my reputation is somebody who really gets to know their customers and works well with their pain points. So I have built a kind of my own technique with how to meet what the customer wants, but help them understand why it might need to be done this way, as in my way, so that we can achieve the outcome. And I'm quite confident in being able to demonstrate to my customers why they need to kind of do things in this particular way, because it's going to achieve this particular outcome. So Guys, I'm making this up, but what I'm trying to say is layer your strengths to the role description and be prepared to talk about the success that you've had in that particular area. So in this example, in the event management example, you need to be great at event management. You need to be good at all the different skills that are involved in delivering an event of the magnitude that they're looking for. So choose the areas of that role that they're looking for, claim them as one of your strengths, and explain why they're a strength. So the strategy for explaining what your greatest strengths are to choose maybe 3 of the key elements of the person specification that you know the employer, the interviewer is looking for, claim them as your strength, and provide the proof and an explanation as to how you achieve success in it. A lot of this depends on how self-aware you are. A lot of it depends on what your high-level examples of success are. So in preparation for interview, you need to have these outlined, and the technique in terms of bringing that to life in an impressive way is to talk about yourself with pride, to talk about yourself with the confidence that is, that you deserve, to strategically align it to the role that you're applying for. And always talk authentically. There isn't a prescriptive way of talking. You can only talk the way that you talk. But what you can do is choose examples and choose words that position you at the top of your career potential. What I've developed is 2 interview techniques. One for answering open questions like this: tell me about your strengths. Why have you applied for this role? What do you feel that you can bring to this position? All of those kind of questions are what I call non-competency based interview questions. And I've developed the 4-point interview success technique for answering those kinds of questions. For competency-based questions, such as tell me about a time when you've delivered a successful project or something along those lines, that's competency-based, and is why I developed the interview story impression technique for answering those kinds of. Having a bit of a technique, a bit of a game plan for the various different types of questions that you're going to be asked will help you put yourself in a really strong position in your next interview. So what I would advise is that you check out my free 5 most common types of interview questions video series, which you'll find the link for in the show notes, because this kind of question is very common, and I really want you to be prepared for the range of different questions that you might be asked. As I say, a lot of the success of answering a question like this lies in how self-aware you are and what your greatest kind of successes are, being able to reel them off when you need to. If you sense that you're not that self-aware and you don't feel like you know what your successes are, that's when I would advise for you to reach out. Maybe book a career success chat with me or ask questions. I'm here to help. But definitely check out the 5 most common types of interview questions, because that should be really helpful when it comes to your next interview. So, what are your greatest strengths? Hopefully you've got a bit of a game plan for how to do that. If you really found this useful, please subscribe if you haven't already and click the like button. And check out the show notes, because I've got loads of free hints, tips and techniques that I am so excited to share with you. I hope you found this useful, and good luck in your next interview. Just bring your true, authentic self.